Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Entertainment Center tonight. Live on Spike, Bellator MMA, along with Casino Rama, Luck Lives North. Begins now with 3 5-minute rounds in the heavyweight division. Brought to you by Dave & Buster's. Eat, drink, play, watch sports and Bellator MMA every Friday night. And now, introducing first, fighting out of the red corner at 6'5", weighing in at 244.1 pounds. Making his Bellator debut, he brings a professional record of 23 victories, 18 defeats, fighting out of Salt Lake City, Utah, Nick, the Slim Shady of MMA, Rossborough. And across the cage, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner at 6'3", weighing in at 262.2 pounds. As a professional, he stands undefeated, 8 wins, no defeats, fighting out of Rochester, Minnesota, Raphael, the Silencer Butler. And the referee in charge of the action, Graham Bettis.
Two natural-born finishers in MMA, Nick Rossborough facing Raphael Butler.
You ready? You ready? Fight!
The bell in round number 1. Tonight's fight clock is brought to you by Miller Lite, the official beer of Bellator. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. Rossborough in the red trunks, Butler in the blue trunks. Good left hand by Rossborough. Butler looking for the outside trip, and he finds it. You can download the Bellator app right now, free of charge. Real-time fight stats, fighter bios, video highlights, and more. Score every round live as you're the 4th judge.
Raphael Butler said, I want to showcase my new skills in this fight. He's been working out at Alliance. He said, I'm a true mixed martial artist. You see that tonight. Got the takedown, now trying to trap the arm. Working his ground and pound. He's very heavy-handed.
Short elbow after the right hands from Butler. Rossborough trying to sit up and through. Trying desperately not to eat those right hands. Nicely done by Butler, trapping the left arm of Rossborough with his knee.
He's in a position where if it gets dicey, he can stand up and get out. Nice job putting his knee through to get to half guard. Tell he's made little adjustments to his game.
Half guard held by Nick Rossborough. A lot of defense right now on his hip.
Butler showing a lot of poise here, not trying to rush anything, not going crazy with his punches, being a bit more methodical.
See Butler legally driving with his head, eliminating that space.
Rossborough has a tough job here. He has to create space, push off, use the fence to get back to his feet.
Rossborough told us, Jimmy, he would have a big advantage on the ground, but he didn't foresee this position. Now Butler lets Rossborough stand. Butler comes forward, misses with that right hand. Good left hand!
That hurt him!
Drops Butler!
That hurt Butler, it hurt him bad. Just curling up here.
Rossborough one hook in. The left hook that dropped Raphael Butler.
And this is where you find out how a guy deals with adversity. He got dropped by that left hand. He's got a very big heavyweight on him. Both hooks in. Does he have what it takes to get out of these positions? This is exactly what Rossborough said he would do. I'm going to test his heart. I'm going to test his all-around MMA game.
See both hooks still in for Nick Rossborough. Butler rolling, Rossborough rolling right with him. Rossborough thinking rear naked choke to finish this fight in his Bellator debut.
Oh, now he has it underneath the neck. If he can lock his hands, he can finish this. Raphael Butler able to keep him from locking hands.
See referee Graham Bettis taking a really close look.
Reaching for his feet, you cannot do that. Opens up the neck.
Bettis knows Rossborough is looking for the rear naked, as does Raphael Butler.
He's cranking on the jaw. Oh, headbutt, that is illegal. Cannot do that, that was flagrant.
Time called by Graham Bettis.
Stop. Timeout. Go to a neutral corner.
And that was an obvious headbutt.
You all right? You gonna stand up and continue?
Right here, yeah, clear headbutt.
What's that? Are you okay?
Yeah, that's pretty flagrant. I'd be surprised if he didn't take a point for that. It looked like first, even closed his eyes before he did it. He knew he was gonna hit him. Yeah, that was out of frustration, Sean.
Doc, come on in.
Cage side physician is being called in by Graham Bettis to look at Nick Rossborough. Low blow gets you 5 minutes. This situation is a quote-unquote reasonable amount of time. Reasonable is determined by Graham Bettis.
At his back, curled up. Look at it here, he closes his eyes and throws it back. There's no positional advantage that comes from doing that. It's like he was trying to do something else. Looks like a clear headbutt to me. Now, if they...
Are you good to continue? Go to your corner over there, sir.
See now if Bettis takes a point.
I think he should.
He's going to.
Or headbutt. Okay. Go to your... You ready to continue? You ready to continue?
I completely disagree. He had his back, they were on the ground, had both hooks in, and he headbutted him and got out of it. They should not start back again on the feet. It's a clear advantage for Raphael Butler.
Say again?
He was on his back.
We're going to continue from the standing after the... You ready? You ready? Fight!
I completely disagree with the referee on this one.
I'm with you, Jimmy. I'm with you.
Raphael Butler's a knockout machine, and he was in serious trouble. Now you start him out on the feet, and he has an advantage. He got an advantage by headbutting someone.
You should not be able to gain a positional advantage through a foul.
This is bad.
That's exactly what happened. Rossborough's corner pled their case.
Got it!
More big shot from Rossborough. Thinking finishing the closing seconds of round one. Butler swinging back. Rossborough to the clinch. Uppercuts from Raphael Butler. Big shots in round one.
Crazy finish to that first round.
Raphael Butler, 2004 National Gold Gloves champion. As a pro boxer, 35 wins, 28 KOs. Entering this fight a perfect 8-0, 8 finishes, but in all sorts of trouble, Jimmy, in round one versus Nick Rossborough.
No. Keep it to the cage, bro.
Tonight's judges have been assigned by the province of Ontario. 1 point deduction, Jimmy, your scorecard round one.
10-8 Rossborough over Butler with the point deduction. I gave him around anyway, 10-9. Then he lost a point for the headbutt. And for the record, I still disagree with that call, letting the guy out of big trouble. Both hooks in because he headbutted the guy.
Watch your arm, bro. Get back up, bro. Watch that arm, bro. Watch your arm.
These power punches 10-4 for Nick Rossborough.
Come on, bro. Get in there. Let's go. Get up. There you go.
This is where it started. This is where the first round started. Butler on top, working efficient ground and pound. Rossborough made his way back to the feet and landed some good shots.
Butler staying tight, trying to go to work with his heavy hands from his hip.
Raphael Butler once again starting out doing the right thing, trapping that arm to land that right hand.
This Sunday, it's the season finale of Bar Rescue, followed by an all-new episode of Hungry Investors, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, only on Spike. Rossborough trying to cage walk. Butler in the past, Jimmy, has shown outstanding ground and pound. Butler said, look, there are a lot of heavyweights in MMA who hit very hard. He said, what separates me as a striker in this sport is my punching accuracy. And that's standing and on the ground.
Right now, he respects the power of Rossborough. Rossborough hurt him badly in that first round more than once.
Knee from Butler.
So far, no warnings to Butler. Not doing a whole lot with this position. Referee pretty tolerant.
Casino Rama crowd growing restless. They're looking for the stand-up from Graham Bettis.
What you gotta remember is that Raphael Butler, if he wins these next 2 rounds 10-9, he's looking at a draw. He's gotta be thinking finish from this point on.
Looking for the arm bars, Butler.
He's in Kimura position now, just squeezing on the head. Now going back, Kimura position. Rossborough, legs against the fence, but not exploding.
55 remaining round 2. Much different pace and tempo to round 2 than we saw in round 1 between these 2 big heavyweights.
What we're seeing now is Raphael Butler not wanting to stand and trade punches.
Butler trying to yank out the Kimura. Loses wrist control.
Here's where Rossborough has to explode. Might be exhausted at this point, but he cannot stay down here. Letting this round slip away. Raphael Butler stayed conservative. He stayed tight with his punches. Cornerman Jeremy Horn screaming at Rossborough.
Butler staying tight, final minute, round number 2. Knee on wrist. Butler trying to showcase his in-tight grappling, trying to add that to his already impressive striking.
Thing is, Rossborough has to have an answer for this kind of attack. Because Raphael Butler, no interest in standing up now. None at all.
There's the stand-up from Graham Bettis.
Rossborough looks exhausted.
Final seconds, round number 2. Rossborough has shown his own very effective striking. That was in round 1. Final seconds now, round 2, and there's the bell.
The referee started them up on the feet. It got him out of that position. We had his back taken.
Hands up, hands up.
Inexcusable to me.
Right down the fight.
You're encouraging someone to break the rules. If I'm getting armbarred and I bite the guy and it gets me out of the armbar, I lose a point, but it's worth it. I didn't lose the fight. Can't encourage that kind of thing.
Jimmy, again, I completely agree with that. You should not be able to gain a positional advantage in our sport through the use of a foul. Your scorecard?
My scorecard last time, it was Butler 10-9. He's 19-18 right now for Rossborough. But Rossborough, I don't know if he has the gas right now to finish this fight. He just threw a hook and fell to the ground exhausted.
Ironies of this fight. Butler, 35 wins as a pro boxer, yet almost knocked out by Nick Rossborough on the feet. Rossborough, 14 submissions, felt that he would have the big advantage with his ground game, yet when they've been on the ground, by and large, it's been Butler holding top position, throwing his strikes.
Rossborough has shown us almost nothing since the first round. He's been exhausted. He's been on the bottom. Now he's fighting for that takedown. Does he have the energy to finish? I don't think so.
Get to the grappling match. Hey, tight, boom there.
Ramo, Rampage Jackson, live May 17th. That's next Saturday night. Our Bellator pay-per-view begins at 10 p.m. Eastern time. It all starts with our prelims live and free on Spike, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Crowd not overly tolerant. Raphael Butler staying close, trying to stay out of danger, but he needs a finish or a 10-8 round, or else he's got a draw on his hands.
And stay busy.
And Bennett's telling both fighters, stay busy. Butler now moving into side control. See if he knees to the ribs from this position.
Let's go.
I'm really surprised actually how little Rossborough has in the tank. After the first round, he's done almost nothing. After a 10-8 round, he looks completely spent. He's really let Raphael Butler back into this fight. Raphael Butler's not doing a whole lot. Short punches, short right hands, it's all positioning.
But he is holding top position, Jimmy, on the ground.
He is, but Rossborough's not exactly contesting that position.
Absolutely. Striker was outstruck in round 1, and the grappler's been out-grappled in round 2, and thus far here in round 3. Phil Butler still in side control. Butler trying to stay perfect in his pro MMA career. Entered the Bellator cage tonight, 8-0 with 8 finishes. Rossborough, 23 pro MMA wins. Looking for the big upset.
You know, Raphael Butler, if he turned it on, you'd imagine he'd get the finish from this position. It wouldn't take much for the referee to stop this fight. He's not turning it on. We're headed toward a draw with 1 minute left, even though Rossborough has done virtually nothing past the first round.
Jimmy, let me throw this at you. Is it conceivable, do you think, that any of the 3 Province of Ontario judges had it as a 10-8, then with the point deduction in round 1 would make it a 10-7 for Nick Rossborough? I wouldn't call it justified because Raphael Butler was landing back, was hurt, landed punches of his own, spent a lot of the round on top. It wasn't a blowout round. I wouldn't have called it a 10-8 round without the foul. I agree with you. I think you scored it correctly, 10-9, the point deduction 10-8. But you could see, because Butler was in trouble, some judges who are liberal with the 10-8 could have scored it 10-8, then 10-7.
10-8s, though, in MMA are comparatively rare. We don't see them that often. They're not as clearly defined as they are in boxing, so I find that unlikely. What I find impossible to understand is Rossborough's conditioning after the first round. In a fight that he had won.
Bell is just seconds away. This will be a very interesting scorecard. There's the bell. An outstanding crowd at Casino Ramo waiting along with us. Let's end the suspense. Here is Michael Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance inside the Bellator cage, we go to your judges' scorecards. Your first judge, Patrick Buckley, sees the fight 28-27, scoring the fight for Butler. While your second and third judges both see the fight even at 28-28, the bout is ruled a majority draw.
28-27 for Butler, Jimmy?
Yeah, someone scored it in the last round, a 10-8 round. I didn't think he did that kind of damage, but I thought it might have been a possibility.
So a majority draw is ruled. Butler still undefeated, but ends his winning streak. Unhappy result for both fighters.